Ladies and gentlemen, this story brings about a different pace, I guess I can say, because we talk about a lot of stories that involve biological mothers and boyfriends, and the biological fathers are nowhere to be found. But in this case, we actually do have a very active biological father, which is good because we've been hoping that at some point we can start to bring these families together. Of course, we advocate for children first, but we definitely advocate for fathers and families in the households, okay? Now, this story comes out of a place called Milwaukee, and the Milwaukee County Medical Examiner says he believes that a little boy by the name of Major Harris, and let me see if I can get a solo picture of him, this beautiful baby boy right here who seemed like he was very, very happy, right? Very happy looking little boy, healthy young man. But a handsome little man right here. But they believe that he was killed around the same time as his mother. So if you guys have not heard about this story, this little boy was missing, I believe, at the time. The father was very active in the streets along with the police and the community trying to find this boy, trying to find the biological mother, and they both ended up being found deceased. So that is a little bit of an update. The new information was released Monday by Dr. Brian Peterson. Now, according to his autopsy, investigators believe the 3-year-old boy, this baby right here, was dead for about a week before he was found last Thursday. Yes, this story comes out of Milwaukee. That is such an ironic name, especially with the nature of this crime. And I'm going to tell y'all, I'm going to say some things that are not going to sit well with your sensibilities. The details might get your stomach in some knots, but I want to tell you guys this. It might hurt us to hear these stories, but it is no comparison to what these children actually have to live through. So the least we could do is listen to their story, okay? Now, police said a tip, so somebody saw something and said something, which is amazing, that's good, led them to the North 35th Street and West Row Avenue, where the baby boy Major's body was discovered in a storage container. Investigators said this boy was shot in the head and they ruled his death a homicide. He was murdered. This was intentional. This will get you first degree in court. His mother, by the name of Mallory Munsenberger, and I know I screwed her last name up. Let me see if I can get mom up here real quick. That's Mallory. I'm going to just say Mallory the mom because I cannot pronounce her last name. Mallory, who is 25 years old, and I want y'all to take a note of her age. She's 25. That's the mom. And she is from Alaska, and she was found dead on October the 14th in the backyard of a home on North 37th and West Clark Streets. Her son, Major, was not with her. They were separated. So I want you guys to think about this. While you're listening to the story, think about reasons why this would have happened. You got a beautiful mother, a beautiful baby, 2 people that look like they wouldn't do a thing wrong to anybody in this world. Why would someone want them dead? Think about that, bookmark that, and I'll give y'all my theory here in a minute, okay? Investigators believe the mother and son had been in Milwaukee since October the 9th when they were killed. So they weren't even there a full month. Wow. An Amber Alert was not issued for the boy until October the 16th. The main suspects in the deaths are an individual by the name of Jaheim Clark, who is this clown. I mean, this guy right here that you see on my screen, who is 20 years old, of Milwaukee, and he was found dead from a self-inflicted gunshot wound 1 day later on October the 17th. Please bookmark that. Jaheim is 20 years old, of Milwaukee. He was found with a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Biggest question would be, why? Why would he have a self-inflicted gunshot wound? We'll get to that here in a minute. We'll get to my theory here in a minute. I'll just tell you the story for now. Police found Mallory, the mother's vehicle, parked behind a laundromat last Monday. The SUV had blood inside, and WISN 12 learned when someone dropped it off on October 16th, they went inside to wash clothes. The laundry was 1 mile from where police found Major's body on Thursday. Police have not said if the person who dropped off the SUV and washed clothes was Clark. Investigators said Wednesday they arrested 6 people in connection to Mallory's death. 6 people. What do y'all want to guess? Do you want to place a wager on what race did that to these people? Do you think it was people that looked like the mother's skin tone? Or do you think it was probably somebody who shared the heritage skin color of the son and the biological father, who we'll talk about here in a minute? 4 of them were released before Monday out of the 6 who were arrested. Police said Monday the other 2 men, who are ages 21 and 29, were no longer in custody. So far, charges have not been filed against any of those arrested. Police have also not made any additional arrests in the deaths of Major or his mother. The medical examiner's office also confirmed on Monday that Major's body had been released to a funeral home in Madison, Wisconsin. I'm assuming that's Wisconsin if they say Madison. Major's father, who is, let me see if I can get his face up here. This is the biological father right here. And Major's father says that he intended to bury his son at a cemetery there. He shared custody of Major with Mallory, the mother. No additional service information was available. And as you guys can see, now this is a rapper that some of you guys might be familiar with. This is Lil Boosie. And I'm not sure if a lot of you guys listen to his music, but I actually do like a lot of Lil Boosie's music. I get a lot of requests for his stuff in the club. And, but yeah, so this is just really, really sad. The fact that maybe somebody was trying to take advantage of a celebrity. I'm not really sure what's going on with that. What are y'all saying in the chat? I know this is a live show, y'all. Hold on just a moment. You're saying it only looks like Boosie? You're saying that's not the... Boosie is not the biological father? Hold on. I actually have a picture. Hold on. Let me see if I can bring this back up here. That's the biological father. And this is actually a picture of the rapper Lil Boosie right here. Now y'all tell me that's not the same person. Is that 2 different people? Seriously? Look at my screen, y'all. AFC, come on, y'all. Look at this. Is that not the rapper Lil Boosie? Come on now, we got DJs in the chat. Somebody tell me that's not Boosie. Is it not? Does that not look like him? From the eyes to the Boosie fade haircut, to the trim around his mouth, to the eyes, to the yellow eyes and everything. That look just, come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. Sorry, that looks exactly like the rapper. Okay, so I'm sorry. Maybe that's not actually the rapper Lil Boosie. Okay, if you say so. Let me give you guys the fair usage. Let me show you guys a couple of news videos. Let's get it. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. Look, y'all, I know people say that a lot of black people look alike. That man looked just like the rapper Lil Boosie. If that is not Lil Boosie, that's got to be his twin. That has to be his twin, not his cousin, not his brother. That has to be his paternal twin. Just saying. Let's get it.
Major Harris's dad so racked with grief he could barely walk after learning authorities in Milwaukee, Wisconsin found his 3-year-old shot dead. On October 14th, Major's mother, 25-year-old Mallory Munsenberger, was found dead in the backyard of a Milwaukee home. An Amber Alert for the toddler was activated 2 days later. On October 17th, Milwaukee police found Jaheim Clark dead by suicide. He was the main person of interest in the case. At this point, his relationship to Munsenberger is unclear.
Like I said, I want to thank the community for all their help. I pray for my family. I pray for...
Okay, they're calling him Carlton Harris, and that's Major's father, so I guess that's... I guess that's officially not little Boosie. Okay. But bro, I think you need to talk to your parents because I think you might have a twin out there running around. Seriously.
In the case. At this point, his relationship to Munsenberger is unclear.
Like I said, I want to thank the community for all their help. I pray for my family. I pray for Mallory's family. I pray for my son. I pray for their souls. And I pray that whoever killed them, the real people, be brought to justice.
On October 21st, Major's remains were found in a container near trash cans in an alley. An autopsy from the Milwaukee County Medical Examiner ruled Major's cause of death was a gunshot wound to the head. His death was ruled a homicide.
They dropped the ball here. That's what it was. They dropped the ball here, and that little boy didn't deserve that. My little cousin didn't deserve that at all. Mallory didn't deserve that. Evil. Evil, pure evil. That's it. That's all. They have no souls, no nothing. How can you do a baby like that? That's a baby. He can't talk. He can't point you out, do none of that. It was senseless.
Authorities have arrested 2 people in connection with the case. No charges have been filed yet.
Major will not be forgotten. His name will ring on.
This is Inside Edition.
With a heavy heart, I'd like to pass that we have found Major Harris, unfortunately deceased.
Next, breaking news. The search for 3-year-old Major Harris is now a search for answers. Where Major's body was found and what we know about the investigation at this hour. Plus, we're on the phone with the family of Major's mother as they received the devastating news. Tonight, they give us a personal look at the boy behind all the headlines. TMJ4 News at 5 starts now. And breaking right now at 5, the news no one wanted to hear, a sad ending to the search for 3-year-old Major Harris. Milwaukee police announced this a short time ago. The toddler was found dead near 35th and Roar. Now that news comes just over an hour ago, bringing a tragic end to a massive and hopeful search effort that had been going on for more than 5 days. We have complete coverage for you now at 5. Katie Crowther has talked to the family of Major's mother, who was found dead a week ago today. Tom Durian is live near the site where the child's body was found. But we begin with Tony Atkins. He has been following the search since the Amber Alert went out. Tony is live at 37th and Center. What can you tell us, Tony?
Carol, today this was ground zero for any search activity regarding the disappearance of Major Harris. Dozens of police officers, dozens of members of the community came together searching dozens of blocks here in this radius. Mallory Munsenberger was killed just up the road here on 35th near Center, and this is where police say they had a credible lead to come back here to search, and that's what they did all throughout the day until they got that news just over an hour ago that Major Harris was found dead 3.5 miles away from this location. Here's what Chief Norman had to say about this tragic end to this desperate search.
But with a heavy heart, I'd like to pass that we have found Major Harris, unfortunately deceased, at North 35th Street in West Warren. This is an ongoing investigation. This is something that is very fluid at this time. My heart and my condolences out to the family. And again, I'd like to remind that this is still an ongoing and very fluid investigation.
That's right. It's really tough. This is just the end to a tragic situation. But MPD said they had made 6 arrests in connection to the murder of Mallory, and they say that there's still so much more investigating to be done. The family thanks everyone who came out here to search. Obviously, this isn't the news anybody was looking for. A true gut punch here in this community. For now, I'm reporting live on 37th and Center. Tony Atkins.
Tonight, the Milwaukee County Medical
gathered at the site where little Major was found dead. Stephanie Haynes is live at MPD headquarters with more tonight.
Stephen Shannon, Milwaukee police are hard at work trying to figure out who would hurt Major and his mother Mallory and why. But tonight, family and friends put all of those questions aside and focused on honoring that sweet little boy.
I wish I could have seen your face one more time.
At the site of his son's memorial, Carlton Harris dropped to his knees.
Hallelujah! Hallelujah. Thank you, God. Amen.
Amen. Candles, photos, and stuffed animals mark the spot where 3-year-old Major Harris was found. Family, friends, and strangers huddled together in a tight embrace Friday night, praying and crying for little Major.
They appreciate Milwaukee. The community, the inner city, you showed up and you showed out.
This horrific tragedy intensified Friday when the medical examiner revealed Major was shot in the head.
My son was shot in the head, a 3-year-old baby. Pray for this city, please. Pray for the evils of this city.
Major's mother, Mallory Munsenberger, was found shot to death near 37th and Clark last Thursday.
So for the people who were asking, what happened to the mom? What happened to the baby? It looks like they were both shot. Now, I can't say whether they were shot in the same area or not, because the boy was located in a different place. He was moved. He could have been shot after being moved, but we don't know. We don't know. And again, if you guys are listening, do me a favor, for as many people who are watching, if you'll look at that number, make sure you guys click that thumbs up, because we do want more people to know about this story. So if you can help us by doing that, that would be immensely helpful by clicking that thumbs up. Doesn't cost anything. All it does is just brings more people in, and YouTube will notify more subscribers, okay? Let's keep going. Both of them were shot. And yes, I'm going to ignore the balloons. And I wish people would stop doing balloon releases, but hey.
She and Major are from the La Crosse area, and it's still a mystery why they were in Milwaukee. But that doesn't matter to the community here. They searched for the little boy for days. Those efforts caught the eye of the mayor.
The community response, both in terms of being supportive of the family, as well as trying to really see what they could do to find Major.
Major was found not far from where police say suspect Jaheim Clark died by suicide on Sunday, and where Mallory's car was recovered on Monday. Milwaukee Police Chief Jeffrey Norman says new surveillance cameras in the area spotted it. And while the search for his son has come to a close, Carlton's search for justice is just beginning.
It's a loss that's not finna be forgotten or swept under the rug. I refuse to let that happen.
Okay, they did do a balloon release. Do candlelit vigils, make t-shirts, plant a tree. Don't just let air litter go into the air. They're actually making it illegal in some states, just to let y'all know. It's a real big deal. Stop doing balloon releases. It's really, really bad for the environment and animals, and it trashes our environments. Those balloons do not go into outer space. They go up into the air and they come back down, and somebody's got to clean that stuff up. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of balloons. It just doesn't make sense to waste money and resources like that. Just throwing it out there. I'm going to say that every time I see it, okay? Here's what I want y'all to think about, because I've got some theories. At first, I was thinking maybe this was just a simple carjacking. Maybe they just tried to rob her of her car and it went wrong. Maybe they tried to cover it up, because a dead witness is no witness. But then I thought about it and I said, now why would one of these individuals kill themselves? And I think that's where the biggest question lies. That's the biggest X factor. So what I'm about to say after this next couple of videos is going to simply be my opinion. I don't know this to be a fact. but I do think I have a very strong case to present, okay? But tell me what you guys think. Why do y'all think that man killed himself?
We have new information tonight in the death investigation of Major Harris. The medical examiner saying the 3-year-old boy was killed at or around the same time as his mother, Mallory Munsenberger, earlier this month. Aaron Maven is live outside the medical examiner's office where the autopsy was performed. Aaron?
Well, Ted, the Milwaukee County Medical Examiner's Office telling us today that Major could have possibly been dead a week before his body was found. At the Milwaukee County Medical Examiner's Office, new information surfacing in the death investigation of 3-year-old Major Harris. The medical examiner revealing Monday that he believes Major was killed at or around the same time as his mother, Mallory Munsenberger. Her body was found October 14th in a backyard near 37th and Clark. A week later, on October 21st, a tip led investigators to Major's body near 35th and Roar. Authorities say he was shot in the head. DNA evidence was used to positively identify the boy's body.
Anybody who can do that to a 3-year-old little boy, this place is evil.
In a news conference Friday, Carlton Harris criticized the search for his son. Authorities launched an Amber Alert once they learned the boy was missing and canvassed communities.
My plea to the world, I need justice for my son. And I want justice for my son.
Police say the main person of interest in connection to the case, Jaheim Clark, died by suicide as police closed in on him during a manhunt. Last week, arrests were made in connection to the homicide of Mallory Munsenberger. Monday, Milwaukee police said there are no updates and criminal charges have not been issued. As the investigation continues into the deaths and why the mother and son from the La Crosse area were in Milwaukee, the medical examiner's office confirmed the child's body was transported to a funeral home in Madison. So Major Harris's father reportedly wants his son to be buried in the Madison area, while the Munsenberger family wants the boy to be buried with his mother in the La Crosse area. This is something that continues to be discussed. Funeral arrangements have not been announced. Reporting live in Milwaukee, Aaron Maben, Fox 6 News.
Aaron, thank you for that update.
We begin tonight at 10 with the search for a 3-year-old little boy, the son of a recent homicide victim. An Amber Alert was issued late this morning for Major Harris. Jessica Maduker spoke with the boy's father.
I'm afraid that my son might not be okay.
Fearing the unimaginable this morning as an Amber Alert was issued in Wisconsin, Carlton Harris Jr., who lives in West Virginia, learned his son, 3-year-old Major Harris, is missing.
He's energetic, always energetic, always happy. Always happy.
And Major's mother, 25-year-old Mallory Munsenberger, is dead, found near 37th and Clark Thursday with obvious signs of trauma, according to Milwaukee police.
Basically at a loss for words. Like, I don't even know how to even feel about it.
Police believe Major might be with 20-year-old Jaheim Clark, who they consider a person of interest in the homicide of Mallory. Investigators say Jaheim and Major could be in a black 2008 Chevrolet Equinox with Wisconsin license plate ABE 2804.
Like, please, I pray that you just let him come home.
Carlton doesn't understand why Mallory and Major were in Milwaukee. He says they lived in La Crosse.
I have not the slightest idea of why she would even be down there.
That is a little bit peculiar because I thought that maybe she came back for the dad, but apparently that's not the case. And yes, you can see the logo on my chest. Some of y'all know what this means, and some of y'all know where this is getting ready to go. Okay? That's what I was thinking at first. I was thinking like, okay, maybe she came down for him, but if he's saying no, that she didn't come down here for me, then why would she come down there in the same area where her baby dad lives at? If I'm not mistaken, I think he lives in Milwaukee, right? If I'm not mistaken. But somewhat in the vicinity of that area. Why would a woman move to that particular area and this thing happen in less than a month? I don't think this is just some fly-by-night luck type, bad luck type thing. I really don't. Because you got to think about it. Not only did they shoot and kill the mom, they had zero reason to shoot that baby. A 3-year-old boy, kill him for what? Doesn't that sound like that could be potentially something like revenge? Are they doing this because of the dad? Is this potentially a new boyfriend type situation? Trying to clear out the old herd? Huh? I have a theory. And I actually have another news article. And thank you, Ginger, for sending this to me. And I think I'm going to shed a little light on this. I'm not sure if anybody else has already talked about this or not. Okay? But we'll get to it here in just a moment.
Carlton says he was trying to bring Major to West Virginia to live with him. He says Mallory needed help.
I just can't sleep, and I'm not gonna sleep. I'm praying that he's safe and that so whoever got him just like give him back, and I can come get my son.
Carlton is on his way to Milwaukee to be closer to the investigation. He has a lot of unanswered questions, but ultimately hopes he will leave here with his son. If you have any information, police are urging you to call the number on.
Let's go ahead and get to our last video here real quick. All right, let's keep going. Last video.
First breaking news in Milwaukee. Police say they've made several arrests connected to Mallory Munsenberger's death. She is the mother of 3-year-old Major Harris, the subject of an Amber Alert issued Saturday morning. Major Harris is still missing.
12 News' Ben Wagner leads us off live at 10.
And Joyce, these arrests from Milwaukee police are the first in the homicide case of Mallory Munsenberger. So far, police haven't said who has been arrested or how many are currently in custody. But MPD was clear about one thing. They say no arrests have been made in the disappearance of Munsenberger's 3-year-old son.
It was Thursday when Munsenberger was found dead in a yard near 37th and Clark in Milwaukee. Police say from multiple gunshot wounds. 2 days later, an Amber Alert was out for her son, Major Harris. Investigators quickly developed a person of interest in Munsenberger's death and Harris's disappearance, 20-year-old Jaheim Clark, who police say shot himself Sunday. Since then, police and volunteer search parties have been looking across the city for the little boy. Harris's father has been in town all week. Today, he voiced frustration with the Milwaukee police investigation to find his son.
Do I feel like they're doing their jobs? Hell no.
Now, I think somebody in the chat said that he's not actually from Milwaukee. You said he's from Madison. Okay. Thank you for clearing that up for me. So let me retract that. Y'all are saying he's from Madison, Wisconsin. I don't know those areas, so I'm really not sure what's what, but thank you for clearing that up because that is important. But I want to call something out here. I'm going to let y'all hear this again about how he talks about the police. Listen at this again.
Find his son.
Do I feel like they're doing their jobs? Hell no.
Voiced frustration with the Milwaukee police investigation to find his son.
Do I feel like they're doing their jobs? Hell no.
And I want y'all to listen at why he said, hell no, the police aren't doing their job. I want y'all to listen at this insanity. Sorry, Dad. I got to call it the way I see it. Listen at this.
I don't. I've been out here walking, searching for my son. I have seen no dogs. They ain't went through no water or no nothing. They ain't searched no lakes, no nothing.
Y'all hear that? Let me let you hear it again.
Do I feel like they're doing their jobs? Hell no. I don't. I've been out here walking, searching for my son. I have seen no dogs. They ain't went through no water or no nothing. They ain't searched no lakes, no nothing. It's a 3-year-old little boy. I'm not understanding any of this. The Milwaukee Police Department is a joke.
He said the Milwaukee Police Department is a joke. Somebody said, Boosie, calm down. Boosie, calm your nerves, sir. Please. Okay? Now, his real name is Carlton Harris. But I like to think that he's related to Boosie in some shape, form, or fashion. But don't y'all think that's wild? How is it that every single time that black people lose their kids or black kids are murdered by other black people, yes, this was by black people. This was not white supremacy's doing, okay? This is black folks doing this to black folks. And somehow it's always the police's fault. Have y'all not noticed that? Always the police's fault. I think that's the insanity. That we do these things to ourselves. We won't call out the thugs with guns. We won't call out the criminals. We won't call out the rapists. We won't call out the non-law-abiding citizens that live in our community, that are our neighbors, that hang out in our hoods and our clubs and all this stuff. Won't call them out at all. But as soon as they do something stupid, now all of a sudden it's the police's fault for what? You said they didn't search the lakes, which I actually have pictures that they did. You said that they not out looking for your son, which they were. They ended up finding him. They searched surveillance tape, which is how they ended up finding the car. Matter of fact, he said they didn't have dogs. How do you know they didn't? Matter of fact, black people love to have pit bulls and Rottweilers and all these other crazy animals, right? Why don't y'all go get y'all some, instead of wasting y'all time with pit bulls and Rottweilers and bully pitties and all of that stuff? Like, I get it, they look cute and all, but since y'all got so much crime out there in Milwaukee and Madison and wherever the hell else you're from, why don't y'all go get you some bloodhounds? Let me tell you a little story. When I was growing up, my mom's dad actually used to have bloodhounds. Yes. So we actually had dogs. Matter of fact, one of my first dogs was actually given to me by my grandfather, and, you know, R.I.P. to him. But what, like, why are we not getting dogs that would be useful for something like this, especially when y'all live in high crime communities anyways? Get you some German Shepherds, get you some bloodhounds. Y'all black asses should have been out there looking for them damn kids, should they not? Matter of fact, have y'all guys never been to, like, what, a place like Academy? Don't they sell scuba gear at Academy? Huh? Y'all got money for big ass chains and big rims and stereo systems, and you got money to cut your hair and look like Boosie every damn week with the Boosie fade. Got money for that? Why don't you go get you some scuba gear? Why don't you take your black ass and your friends, why don't y'all go out there and go scuba dive in the fucking lake? How about y'all go do that? What's stopping y'all from going to go search and go dive in the lake? Huh? Maybe go get you some drop nets, some stretch nets, or whatever the hell you call them. Go get you a boat, go drag them. Like, y'all got money for all these wild cars. I see y'all at a lot of these car shows. Black folk. Is that not a fact? I've seen black folks at car shows that probably got cars that's probably worth more than $100,000. I know some of these damn quick fast boats don't cost that much. Go get you some boats. Like, man, there are things that we can do ourselves instead of constantly waiting on the police to come and help us. I can actually tell y'all a very personal story about a time when I didn't have to wait for the police, but I'm not going to tell y'all that story right now. But you don't always have to wait for the police to jump in and do things that you can do yourself. Did I say something that was factually inaccurate? Are y'all still on the father's side? Well, maybe you won't be after I tell y'all the article that Ginger just sent me. Are y'all ready for that?
Period. MPD responding Wednesday, saying they hear Harris's concerns and continue to work tirelessly to find Major, who has now been missing for nearly a week.
And Ben, I understand you reached out to police about tonight's developments?
We have, Joyce. Still no specifics about who's been taken into custody or the nature of the charges against them. Police only saying several arrests have been made and that Major Harris is still missing.
Let's stay on.
I guess my point about it is not to say, because that is what we pay our tax dollars for. But I think the majority of what I'm trying to say, let me give y'all a perfect example. Do y'all remember when Katrina hit and a lot of these storms that hit Louisiana, and shout out to my people from Louisiana? Did y'all notice how a lot of them, like the Cajun Army, do y'all know what the Cajun Army is? Does anybody have any idea what the Cajun Army is? They are people just like us, that took their money and took their time to buy boats and things that people would need in order to try to help other folks. They just put their money where they knew, excuse me, they put their money and their resources into things that they said, we're not going to wait for the police to show up. We're not going to wait for the Red Cross to show up. We're not going to wait for the National Guard to show up. That's literally what the Cajun Army is. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but I've been to Louisiana a couple of times, actually, and I kind of follow the history. Is it the Cajun Navy? It's one of them, whatever it is. But they help themselves while they're waiting for help. So while they were waiting for help from the police, they could have been out looking themselves. I'm just saying we could be a little bit more proactive and constantly stop complaining about the police. All right. Now let me tell you guys a little bit of something about the Boosie lookalike, the biological father, Carlton Harris. So from this article, and I hope that let me make sure, let me check my email, make sure I'm not missing anything else. Hold on. Okay. I'm going to go back to my article. So whoever sent me that last email, you'll have to wait because this one is actually pertinent to the story, okay? So give me a moment. Give me a moment. I'll get back to your email here in just a moment. This article says Carlton Harris, the biological father. Let me see if I can get his face back up here real quick. This guy, the dad, the father of murdered child, Major Harris, and this is according to news source WisconsinRightNow.com. WisconsinRightNow.com, article by Jim Piwowarczvk, whatever that is. So y'all can blame him for this. He said that the father of a murdered child, Major Harris, has repeatedly bashed the Milwaukee police in televised press conferences. But what the media haven't told you is that he is wanted on warrants in multiple cases across 3 counties for various offenses, has open charges for serious domestic abuse, related violent felony crimes, and has a child support lien through the Wisconsin Department of Children and Families. Hashtag not my words. I hope this dude know what he's talking about, Ginger, because if he's wrong, he could be sued. Damn. He said, we thought long and hard before publicizing the open warrants and criminal charges of a murder victim's father and wouldn't do so in most cases. However, Carlton Harris has stepped out of the grieving father's role and has chosen to trash Milwaukee police. Furthermore, he doesn't appear to have been very involved in his son's life. Those facts and the extremely serious and widespread nature of his warrants and charges mean the public deserves to know the full story to judge his comments against authorities, which have been widely reported in the news media, which has pushed the family's GoFundMe page, which I think I can show you guys this. Somebody flagged it. If y'all can see that. Content campaign not found. They flagged down the GoFundMe page. So I don't know what's up with that, but the GoFundMe is not there unless they put up another one. They said that he's literally trashing the police while being wanted by police in counties from La Crosse to Sauk, S-A-U-K. If you're going to publicly bash the police, I hate that word bash, on TV, the fact that you're currently sought by police becomes irrelevant. I don't know about that. Anyway, in addition, he's now threatening to sue the family of the boy's murdered mother because they want the child to be buried with his mother in La Crosse. He wants the child buried in Madison, and this is the part where I think Alyssa Deeds told me about this earlier, where they were fighting over where this baby boy was going to be buried, and that can be a very, very ugly thing to have to go through. They can't just lay this baby's body to rest. They're going to be fighting over where he's going to be buried. It's just a really sad thing to have to go through. Because I think that to be honest, I think both sides of the family have rights to have him buried where they want. And I wish they would just come together and just end all of that BS, okay? Now, he wants the child to be buried in Madison, and it's worth noted that some of Carlton Harris's open warrants are in La Crosse. Carlton became extremely agitated and threatened to sue the family of Mallory, along with the spokesperson who initiated the call to him. He stated he would be hiring a lawyer and plans to sue the Milwaukee Police Department as well, the mother's family said in a statement. Furthermore, there is a long pattern. In 2012, this is where it gets interesting. I hope y'all are ready for this. In 2012, Harris was featured in a Madison.com article that used the cliched line that he was turning his life around. That story revealed that Madison police had named him one of the city's top 10 chronic violent offenders. If any of that information is wrong, you could definitely be sued for a hell of a lot of slander and libel. That is a hell of an indictment. Now, I don't have that. Like I said, I'm reading this again from WisconsinRightNow.com, and I'll give y'all that reporter's name here in a minute. I'll re-say his name here in a minute. He was listed as the city's top 10 chronic violent offenders. The biological father. Damn, Carlton, thank you. That story says that he tried to shoot a fellow high school student while out on bail for drugs and shot at a security guard outside a Minnesota bar. Not that guy. Let me get him off the screen for now. Now, how many of you guys have heard about that part of the story? Because I damn sure didn't. I don't even know if my guy Chris knows about that. I'm going to have to inbox him and ask him if he knew about this. I'm going to have to send him this article. They said that the dad tried to shoot a fellow high school student while he was out on bail for drugs and shot at a security guard outside a Minnesota bar. Wow. They even listed some of his open charges. Oh my goodness. Can I expand this? Wow. Woo. Take and drive vehicle without consent, number 1. Number 2, false imprisonment. Number 3, domestic abuse. Number 4, battery. Number 5, domestic abuse. Number 6, disorderly conduct. Number 7, domestic violence. These are things that people on news websites looked up in public records. What does that mean? That means that the mom, since this was back in 2012, could have looked this information up on him and did a simple background check. Instead, it sounds like she had a baby by a thug. Hashtag, when you date thugs, you date death. Is that not what the shirt says? Where's my brother Dre the Dream at? Hashtag, when you date thugs, you date death. Which we're going to get to him here in a moment. Let me finish reading this article. Among other comments, Harris labeled the Milwaukee Police Department a joke, which y'all heard him say that, at the department's efforts at an epic fail. He called the department negligent in his son's death, which is stupid to even say that. Do I feel like they're doing their jobs? Hell no, he said. I don't. The Milwaukee Police Department is a joke, period. That's what the dad said. Y'all heard the interview. I feel like the community cares, but I feel like the police department is negligent. A lot of people here don't have faith in the police department. That's an issue here. Well, I'll get back to my thoughts here in a minute on that. golly, they wrote a long article. They accused this man of not even raising his own son. Oh my goodness. Woo. Let me ask y'all a question. Do y'all want me to skip what they're charging him with, what his open charges are, or do y'all want me to read them? We're live right now. I'll wait for y'all to answer that question in the chat. They actually listed Carlton Harris's open warrants. Do y'all want me to read them? If y'all want me to read them, hit that thumbs up for me. Please share this and let more people know that we're live talking about this story, okay? If you want me to read them, I'll try to read them really quick. The biological father, Carlton Harris's open warrants. In SAUK, Sauk County, Carlton Harris is charged with serious felonies, false imprisonment, which is domestic abuse, and take and drive a vehicle without the owner's consent. He's also charged with misdemeanor battery and disorderly conduct, domestic abuse. A bench warrant was issued on November the 13th of 2020. The court records say that there was a notice of completion on January 27th of 2021, but there are no notations since. The warrants were issued when Harris didn't show up for court. La Crosse County. Carlton Harris is wanted on a warrant for 2 misdemeanors, retail theft, and bail jumping. A bench warrant was issued on September 17, 2020, when Harris didn't show up for court. That was the last hearing date in court records. In a separate case, he's wanted on a warrant on an open misdemeanor charge of operating after revoked disorderly conduct, domestic abuse. A bench warrant was issued on August the 24th of 2021. There are no other hearings listed in court records. Unable to forward court records say under his address. In DANE, in Dane County. Outstanding warrant in domestic violence, civil injunction against Carlton Harris. The warrant was issued on October 6, 2020, when he didn't show up for a hearing to surrender firearms. It remains outstanding. Let me skip that part. In addition, an arrest warrant was issued in a criminal traffic operating after revocation, or after his license was revoked, I guess, and revoked due to alcohol controlled substance refusal case in the same county of October 5th of 2020. It too remains outstanding because he didn't appear in court. In addition, the Wisconsin Child Support Agency took both Harris and Major's mom, Mallory, whatever her last name is, to court in 2019. Placement of the boy was given to Mallory, and Carlton Harris was ordered to undergo job searches and pay some cost. She did not request child support. She did not request child support. He also has a paternity action involving another child for which the court made findings against him of contempt of court. Now here's the child support lien. Carlton has a child support lien through the Wisconsin Department of Children and Families for $14,496.40. That lien was filed through Dane County on October the 6th of 2019. It's not clear which child support lien that was for. Major Harris was not his only child. On his criminal convictions. Guys, I'm not trying to crap on this man, but I think this article is relevant to at least hear it. Can we at least listen to it? Don't get mad at me. I'm just the messenger. Somebody sent me this article, okay? Now, it says in 1997, he was convicted of serious felonies. First degree, recklessly endangering safety with use of dangerous weapon, bail jumping, and misdemeanors for possessing a dangerous weapon, carrying a concealed weapon, and obstructing and resisting an officer in Dane County. He was sent to prison in that case. Now, I want y'all to remember that I said the mom could have did what? Did a simple background check on him and found out all of this information. Yes? The same year, he was convicted in Dane County of felony cocaine dealing. His other convictions are for 2 counts of drug possession, misdemeanors, operating after revoke, criminal traffic, 2 counts of bail jumping, misdemeanor, domestic violence, misdemeanor, disorderly conduct, domestic abuse, misdemeanor. He has burglary and assault with a dangerous weapon felony convictions out of Minnesota. Why did I just... That is a long rap sheet. Why did I bring up all of that? Here's why. Because I still don't know why the little boy ended up dead and why the mom ended up dead. And we still don't know why the mom came back to this area. Okay? So let's think about this. The mom came back. He's claiming that the mom didn't come back for him. So if the mom didn't come back for him, for the baby dad, which actually would have made sense, then what does she come back to that area for? Because they said that she's not from there. So if you ask me, a mother doesn't just up and move to a place like Milwaukee, except for if she's going there for somebody specific. In this case, let me bring up a picture. I want you guys, y'all are going to get so mad at me. Some of y'all in the chat are going to get mad at me. This is the mom's baby daddy. God, y'all are going to hate me for this. I'm so sorry that I have to do this. Look at this man's face, okay? This man's face looked like he's had a hard knock life for us. He's had a hard knock life for us. It's a hard knock life. That's what his face looks like. Why am I talking about this man's looks? Here's why. Because if she were willing to be with that man with the gold teeth and the face that looked like it's been through some better days, what do you think she would think if she looked at a face like that? A face that's a little bit younger, a little less tainted, a little more cute, and a lot younger. You guys get my point? Remember, this is all speculation, so don't get your panties in a bunch, okay? This is all speculation. If you ask me, I think the mom might have slept with this man because if you look at her baby dad, her track record ain't that freaking good, okay? She had sex with a man who's got a rap sheet longer than the Nile River, okay? She's 25 years old, or was 25 years old. He's 20 years old. And I'm going to take y'all back to something that I actually said a few months ago. Do y'all remember what I said that men between the ages of 18 and 25, what they're good for? Do y'all remember what I said? What are men between the ages of 18 to 25? What are they good for, ladies? Does anybody remember? I can speak from experience. You usually are not going to be financially secure between that age. You usually are still trying to figure out what you want to become by that age. You might even be just starting to get your education up and get into your career by that age, working yourself up by the time you end up in your 30s, and then you might start to become a bit more stable and a bit more stable in your career and be financially okay. But 9.9 times out of 10, most men between the ages of 18 to 25 are only good for ping ping. They're only good for one damn thing. And if they're anything like me, you're probably pretty damn good between the age of 18 and 25 because you ain't really had a ton of experience. You ain't worn out. You're young and full of cum. You get what I'm saying? And I also want y'all to think about this. They usually say that women who have children, their first child will have their second child. This is a statistic you can look up. They usually have their second child within 24 months of their first child, usually within 2 years. This baby boy that ended up dead was about that age, pretty close. So it makes sense that the mom was probably out on the prowl and potentially could have been with this man. So now you would have to ask the next question, well, how did they end up dead, right? Now remember, a lot of this is speculation. How do they end up dead within a short amount of time? I'm thinking that something might have went really, really wrong. One of two things between them. Either something went wrong between that young man and the mother, and he ended up abusing her, murdering her, and then murdering her son, which is the guilt that he felt because he probably really liked that woman and wanted to be with that woman, and she ended up like, "No, you crazy, I don't want to be with you. And these plans didn't work out the way that I thought it would," and tried to leave, and he murdered them. That's scenario number one. Or, which could validate this article, that an individual by the name of Jim Piwowarski or Piwowarchek from the WisconsinRightNow.com website. It also could because of the dad's history. He has a drug history. He has a weapons history. He has an abuse history. There's a lot of things going on that maybe that man that they found that murdered himself was trying to hurt the dad as well, which could have been the reason why he killed his son. Could it have been a drug debt? Potentially. Could he have owed some money? Potentially, yes. Which is also why, if it were a hit, which is why they had about 6 people that they arrested in connection with this thing, but they weren't able to make the connection. 3 possible scenarios. One of them being personal. And I think that the boy might have just really liked that girl and killed himself and felt guilty. Because why else would you turn the gun on yourself? Especially if everybody was involved, unless everybody was talking about they were going to snitch on you and point the finger at you. But usually in a place like Milwaukee, usually birds of a feather going to flock together, they're going to ride together, and they're going to take their time together, or they're going to just not say nothing about each other. That's why I think this was probably something personal, or it could have been a drug hit, especially with the biological father's colorful past. Don't put it past him. I'm sorry, but that does matter. People in the chat might feel like his record doesn't matter. In this case, it does, because your past will come back to haunt you. Yes? Y'all don't think that some of the stuff in my past might have tried to come back and haunt me? I believe it does. Which is why I've tried to dedicate my life to doing the right shit. Which is why a lot of people that I grew up with that were doing the wrong things are out trying to do the right stuff now. Trying to lead by example now. Trying to be better people now. Trying to raise our kids to be better people now. Why? Because I don't want something to happen to my daughter because of some dumb shit that I did. Because somebody want to get at me, maybe can't get me at the moment, and might end up trying to get at my daughter. Which is also why my daughter's mom tries to make sure to live the straight and narrow. To make sure that we both give our daughter an opportunity to grow up and become something great. I'm not saying the mother was a bad person, by no means. And I'm not saying that the dad is guilty of anything in this situation. But there's a lot of red flags in there, people, that cannot be ignored. Because let me tell you guys something. Until you have answers, don't get mad about the speculation. Until you have real concrete evidence, don't get mad about the speculation. Because these people really know what happened. Those 6 people that were arrested, I believe that some of them know what happened. And nobody's talking. Somebody knows what happened. And there's a reason why they took that boy's life. Because that was senseless. It was stupid. It was callous. That was hurtful. And only an asshole would do something like that to a baby boy, let alone the mom. Neither one of them deserved that. That baby boy deserved every opportunity to grow up and become something great. And they robbed him of that opportunity. And for that, anybody, I don't care what side of the family it's on, anybody who is associated with that needs to pay. The one guy took his own life, so I'm going to assume that he was the one that committed the murders. But if anybody else saw something, said something, knows something, and didn't say something, they need jail time. Yep. They need to be convicted too. For withholding information, lying, and misleading the police. Because this is stupid. We keep pointing the finger at the police when this stuff is being caused because of our own actions and our own choices. We wouldn't even need the police if we would just fix our own problems and stop doing bullcrap to each other. It's very simple. These children can't speak for themselves, nor can they defend themselves, but it is imperative that we make sure and live a life that is conducive to raising children and be responsible. I'm speaking from a father's perspective. I'm speaking through eyes that have done things the wrong way. And I'm also speaking from experience of someone who's trying to do everything the right way. So that's what I'm hoping for. That's what I'm praying for. And I'm praying for change. And I pray that we could stop doing stories like this. This baby boy deserved to grow up and become something great. Young Prince. And I hope we get answers soon. But I'm going to use this picture. See if I can get back to it. Young Major Harris. R.I.P. Young Prince. R.I.P. And I thank those who were able to listen with an open mind as well as an open heart. And I thank you.